Welcome to another very special edition of McGuire's Car Crazy as we travel to the southern hemisphere to beautiful Sao Paulo, Brazil. With a population of more than 20 million people, Sao Paulo is one of the largest cities in the world with tons of car guys.
Brazil is known for a lot of things. It's really a place where there's a lot of guys that love cars.
We'll take a look at some amazing car collections that would generate excitement anywhere in the world. This was a collection that nobody has seen. Car Crazy. We begin our journey here in the heart of Sao Paulo, where we find a humble-looking warehouse. Help us get around, but never one so famous as Jill J. Ferran. Jill, great.
Pretty women and great racing drivers, by the way.
Yes.
It's really a place where there's a lot of guys that love cars.
We find ourselves now in this fabulous collection. We have Paulo that's going to take us around here.
In Brazil, it's like
We'll take a look at a car collection that's so exclusive, we can't even mention the owner's name. This was a collection that nobody has seen.
What impressed me about that collection was it was not a collection to be shown or to win competitions. It was a collection that was special to the owner.
Incredible cars and stories coming up when McGuire's Car Crazy returns.
Brazilian room, there's an American room, there's an European room, there's a section there that is dedicated to my friend, and there's another like special room full of very nice collectibles, all sorts of things.
We can't even mention his name, the owner of this collection. This is private as private can be.
He's a true gentleman and, you know, a very private person.
Yes. And without further ado, for the very first time on television, we're giving you a rare glimpse of an astounding collection of cars and memorabilia whose neighbors don't even know exist and never will.
A lot of the cars you see here are cars that I grew up with. We got the Puma here, which was a Brazilian-made sports car with Volkswagen mechanicals. And this very car that is next to me, it's a Willys Interlagos. My grandfather had one of these, and he's no longer around, so it's very touching to be here today. I have to say, I've never seen a collection like this. To me, this is completely unique. You have everything, all the way from the beginnings of the industry to what it is today, which is a full-blown automotive industry.
And from this exclusive Brazilian display, let's check out the American room, where ultra-rare cars like this Cadillac Veritz are par for the course.
A lot of the Brazilian cars were originally based on American design, and some cars were fully American designed and engineered with very slight modifications for the Brazilian market. So you can certainly see the lineage here behind me.
Speaking of lineage, just take a look at this incredible 1919 Ford Model T or this classic Mustang GT pony car. From this 1939 Lincoln Zephyr limousine to this 47 Buick Roadmaster convertible, these cars are pristine to the hilt in their restorations and are perfect examples of American craftsmanship of that era.
I haven't seen a lot of collections like that, organized in that way. And quite frankly, I have never been to a collection of Brazilian cars. And for me, it was very touching.
Up next, we'll depart from the Americas and begin feasting our eyes on the amazing cars in the European room.
European cars here were more high-end, more exclusive. MGs and Jaguars were very rare indeed. So there's a lot of cars here that were not many around in Brazil.
Most of these cars are quite rare all over the world, not just in Brazil. But what a privilege it is to show them to you from Brazil. The car hobby truly is a global phenomenon. And from this never-before publicly viewed collection of cars, we're moved to pay homage to Brazilian racing history.
This room is dedicated to a friend of mine that used to be a Brazilian racing driver. He drove some of the same teams that I drove. This room is dedicated to his racing career that started in Brazil, went to Europe, and ended up in American Indy cars.
Well, beyond the Brazilian and the American and the European cars, there's this one room that just, I mean, it's mind-boggling.
Yeah, it was mind-boggling. This is probably the most special room in the collection. I think you got some premier examples here. Right behind me, you got a 250 GTO, and you had a Lamborghini Miura, which is probably one of my personal favorite cars. Apparently, there is only one Bugatti in Brazil, and here it is. We got a couple unique pieces here in the collection. And we got a piece that used to belong to the British Embassy in Switzerland. We got a car that belonged to the Brazilian Foreign Office. And apparently when Queen Elizabeth was here in the 60s, she was driven around in that car. What impressed me about that collection was it was not a collection to be shown or to win competitions or to have the most special car. It was a collection that was special to the owner. You could